to Nugget Garage. If you're watching this is the second week in a row where I've actually managed to film something and edit it and upload it. We're currently in the battle truck. Don't drive this thing as much at the moment due to having no aircon, and really only comes out if I've got to move something around or do a jump run or something, but it still runs. It's been running around on unleaded for the last year, which it doesn't particularly like, but every time it fouls a set of plugs, I just put a fresh set in the bank that I can get to, and then use those four to sort of convince the other four to work, and then it keeps going. Probably give it a service this year. I haven't serviced it in about a year, and I should probably get it back to the track one day, but it's already run a 1090, 117, and it's probably not going to go any quicker than that anyway. Might get it out to some events like roll racing, or just scare a few people again. I used to enjoy that in this thing. Work-wise, this week I had a couple of trying jobs early up, which sometimes it makes me wonder why. Anyway, I lost a few days to that and a few nights, so we're now playing Mad Scramble catch-up to try and get through the rest of the week. Work in general is actually, I don't know if it's slowed up. The phones have definitely slowed. I've probably not answered as many phone calls as I should. So now I've got Andrew on staff. We should be able to sort of make that not happen anymore, and we'll actually start answering the phone again, I guess. As far as that goes, Andrew and Nathan, Andrew's been helping me unload and load cars and dynos and answering phones and whatnot, so I've had a little bit of time to tinker, which means KE10 is pretty much 45 minutes away from being able to start, so that's what I plan to do at the end of this video. I'm going to start that up for the first time and see how that goes. The KE70 panel van project, Nathan's been in most days this week, just not doing anything exciting, but engine in and out and modifying engine mounts, cutting tunnels, basically getting the point where the engine and box can stay in for good, which I think it's up to now. We'll throw a montage up in a sec. I know he's all love them, but that's all we got. So basically it's the point now where the motor's in, the box is in for good, we've got a tail shaft length. I've spoken to Driveline Services. He assures me that a 3-inch tail shaft with about 2 and a bit more mil wall thickness is up to the job. We're turning 50 unis either end. Apparently that tail shaft length of 1052 or something doesn't become critical until about 12,000 RPM with a 3-inch tube. So it seems a little bit smaller to me, but I'll take his word for it. It just means I'm going to have more room for that track locator I was worried about being a bit close. I've also had lots of parcels turning up this week and last week for the KE70, so it's from Golby's Parts and RCE and various other places. So I'll show you what I've got going on there and what I'm going to use on the car. Also, quite a lot of people bought t-shirts last week after me putting a video out, first time in 3 months, so I appreciate that. All that money helps in the project. Do all this stuff off my back mostly with a little bit of help from sponsors, so that sort of support helps. I'm going to put a few more designs up there, probably not this week, maybe the week after. Got some designs being done at the moment. Anyway, I'll get to work and show you that stuff, and hopefully by the end of the day we'll have the KE10 running, and that'll be it for this week. Alright, so here's some of the stuff that all has to go into this thing. So we're going to use the drive-by-wire throttle. Obviously Nexus, IC7, can keypad, best way to go. Tail shaft speed sensors, a few other pressure sensors. We're going to use a BPP rail. I'm not going to use that, it's too small, I'm not sure why that's there. FPR 2000, BPP rail, closing hand clamps. I've got some of these new OPR version 2s, whatever they are. One's for the KE10, one's for this car. Obviously we're using a Turbo Smart gate. Some speed flow stuff for fuel tanks and radiators and whatnot. TCA8, I'm going to put 6 EGTs on this thing. I'm going to try and use a Aeromotive brushless gear pump. They reckon these things are good for 5 gallons a minute. I'm a bit skeptical, but I'll give it a crack. Apparently it's good for 2700 horsepower or something on unleaded and 1800 on E85 boosted out of one pump, and it actually sits in the top of the tank. It has an extension here and a little filter element so you can adjust the height. So if it works, it'll be a nice clean install. You got to control this with a 0 to 5 volt signal. I think they intend you to use like a throttle position sensor or something, but with this little box of tricks you can turn a PWM output from the Nexus into a 0 to 5 adjustable over a table with duty cycle. Yeah, so I've got to get all this into the car. Probably need to start making a list now because I think we're only, well, I haven't actually worked out how many weeks there is to go, but I'm assuming not many. Other stuff, chrome bumpers, gas struts for boot beads, door seals, window seals, tyre one, indicator lenses and whatnot. You can't get much else anyway. Alright, well, I'll get through my day and we'll have a look at the KE10 making noises and stuff. So we didn't do much on this today, I don't think. Well, Nathan didn't. Other than discovering that the converter pull-out is too much. So we're going to have to use a 3mm washer or something in there. It's no biggie. So the engine and box is in for good. Got to cut a hole in that and put a throttle body out through here. These Ross water adapters, I was going to use a water pump on this, but a stock one, but I don't know if there's enough room. It's getting real busy here. Same as with the alternator, I can't really fit it here because of the wastegate, so we're going to do a passenger side alternator. That's pretty much it for this week on this thing, I think. We'll try and start this red piece of crap up. Should fire right up. Skip built it. Let's prime it. This has never been run before. Actually, if you turn the ignition on and let's see if we get oil pressure on there. I should have done this before you put the whole front end back together.
Is 85 enough?
That'll do. It's all shiny.
For now.
It's gonna take long.
Still faster than Nathan putting that indicator earth on.
That's you that put it blue.
I had a plan.
How hard do you reckon this is going to be? It's actually got an O-ring leak in it. That's probably what you felt when it squirted you before.
Oh, really?
That rail's going to come back out.
I didn't fucking...
Alright, so it runs. Needed about 500 ml more oil. It needs about the same on the ATF. We lost a little bit when we pulled the converter out. Reason why I stopped there is the O-ring underneath the first injector on the primary rail I think hasn't gone in properly, and when it makes a bit of pressure I was feeling methanol squirting out from under there. So I was going to do a trans brake test, but I've got to fix that and I can't be bothered. I'll fix it tomorrow. Changes else, we put OPR turbo smart regulator on this thing, try and stop it from having the big precision puff on the finish line. Everybody thinks the engine's junked itself. Put a 7-bar map sensor in it because I was topping out the 57 pound one that was in there. We're at 60 something pounds. Other than that, I think it's good to go. I didn't even have to put the front end on. Andrew and Nathan did it. Cooling system's all primed up. It pretty much just fired straight off the key, which is what you'd expect to happen with it all primed up. All was primed, the fuel system was primed, and the tune's pretty much the same. So, alright, well I think next week's video will be more on the 71, but on the 70, but I reckon we'll put this in on the dyno and see what those changes have made. The exhaust cam change, the timing change, the dump pipe size, and the fresh engine. So see if we can crack the 1200 horsepower. Alright, well we'll end that one here and I'll see you next week. This isn't really riveting television. It's me struggling with the nuts, bolts, whatever. You could have actually bought something useful over, like 10mm spanner. Nah, fucking camera instead.